Good morning. Even though I'm not in Miami with you today, I wanted to have some kind of sunny atmosphere and palm trees, leaves behind me. Welcome, my name is Charles DOC. I will talk to you today about how blockchain networks are getting closer to business networks and getting to the rescue of businesses in general. We will look at how industries have been organizing themselves, and we all remember these vertically integrated big factories such as Ford, for example. Later, industries looked at how they could outsource some of their processes, and today, if you look at the big manufacturing hubs today, they are essentially focusing on assembly, and they are effectively a network of smaller suppliers. So it just makes all the data exchange and workflows totally different. And as per today, there is still a very big gap which needs to be closed to make sure that this data between this network of businesses is exchanged in a safe and valuable way today. So exchanging data is really hard. It brings difficulties. It brings mistakes. Today, many companies are still using email, fax, or PDF to exchange data, and there is mistakes. These mistakes cost money. So if you look at the era of network competitions, it looks also like the networks of suppliers and the networks of partners are also very dynamic. And we want to make sure that there is, within the data architecture around those companies, workflows and infrastructure which allows dynamic partnerships and dynamic exchange of data in a safe way. A network leader will be having his own subsidiaries, will have his own partners, and from time to time they will sometimes transact every day, sometimes transact twice a year. Yet they should have the same type of infrastructure and the same ease of onboarding within these networks. So today, most of the companies are organized in a very central manner. There is sometimes an ERP, there is some kind of data exchange as a service. That's good. But it's not really dynamic. It takes time to onboard all these new partners, and it's not really adapted as the business is today. So if you look at the history of blockchain, and this is really obviously a topic which is very important for all of us here today, there was different eras where actually the networks and DLT networks have been focusing on different type of big topics. So starting 2015, we've seen a very strong growth of permission and private blockchains, which were focusing on exchanging data, and it was effectively a distributed database. Later on, public blockchain, starting from 2016 to 2020, more or less, starting to look at how we can build distributed networks, but this time to try to implement business logics with decentralized application, for example. Ethereum is a good example of that. And what we see entering now is how we build networks to essentially work really around the trust, and how can we have a common frame of reference to exchange all this data in a safe and meaningful way for our businesses. Yet there is some very big challenges. A lot of these data and business logic are very private. They sometimes very much impact the future of the company. And many CEOs and chief security officers will not be comfortable to share these business logics or to share the business identity, having some processes to update the state of things. So all of this is complicated to implement. And many people believe that blockchain as a database is not exactly what they need. Yet companies are recognizing that private chains and closed network, essentially intranets, are not the right solutions for them. And they are, when Forrester did some surveys among big companies, about 75% of them were planning to move from a private to a public blockchain. But yet they still think, 80% of them still think that a lot of their data and business processes are very sensitive and they could not sit in a public blockchain. That's where comes in the baseline protocol, which is an open source protocol, which is really helping to share data between different companies and business networks with a very strong focus on privacy and a strong focus also on not sharing sensitive enterprise information on this blockchain. Here, the public mainnet. And that's a very strong proposition. This project has been in the making and launched for quite some time, starting in 2019 with an initial effort from Consensus, Ernst & Young, and Microsoft. And since then, having a lot of supporting companies joining the project and helping to build this open source protocol. So as per today, there is close to 2,000 participants in the community, and they're really looking at iterated and creating new versions and upgraded versions of the protocol and going closer and closer to production. So this protocol is built on Ethereum today, and I will try to explain to you in a very practical way and not so much ideological considerations here why Ethereum has been chosen by the baseline protocol. Ethereum, as you know, has these capabilities of private and public chains. As the Ethereum mainnet is today really a network of choice for many developers and large companies, very large developer communities. And very strong adoptions and network effect existing. So that was a perfect kind of soil to start this new type of protocol to exchange data within the enterprise environment. So all the on baseline protocol, all the business logics remain private. All the data stays in the networks of the said companies, and there is very interesting zero-knowledge circuits and shielded smart contracts which are helping to share the data and share confirmations between the different companies part of this network without sharing the data themselves. So you can get a confirmation that yes, the delivery will be on that date, or yes, the price of my new order will be that one, without sharing all the data within the network and wherever it might be dangerous or felt as not safe for the management of the company. So these business protocols are really helping to multiply the partners, to reduce the upfront investment, leveraging public goods and public utility such as the Ethereum mainnet. And this helps to work also with smaller partners, which do not need to onboard on a specific system, but just connect to the mainnet, which is available and ubiquitous. So some key takeaways is private blockchains provide a very limited, as we know, value, and they create data silo, and the public blockchains, here Ethereum in these examples, are bringing very strong value. So we really see over all the different blockchains represented today in the industry and represented today in this event, a very strong move towards public infrastructure and making some private collaboration on public networks is really the way to go. So if some of you are architects, some of you are executive, keep looking in these directions, document yourself and join the baseline community and the baseline protocol builders to understand how the companies with already strong knowledge of blockchain and distributed networks are building today on the Ethereum mainnet. So you can learn more about baseline, obviously, on the website. There is a Slack channels, YouTube, office hours are recorded, so a very strong community over there. And there is also a baseline hackathon on Gitcoin, which is soon ending. So please feel free to join this one. Thank you very much. My name is Charles. I'm the director of Consensus in Asia Pacific. I'm based in Hong Kong, and I take care of different projects within the ecosystem here in Asia Pacific, focusing on the enterprise side of things with Consensus Quorum and the development of the different Consensus products. Thank you, everyone. As the program continues, and for me, see you on the beach.